This business pretty much means everything to us. We started it when we were really young, just 25 years old. And we were kind of just fresh out of college, pretty much working our first corporate jobs and really trying to find our way in the world, what we wanted to do, what kind of impact we wanted to make. And so when we, decided to go out on a limb and start our own business, especially something kind of as crazy as wedding pet care. It was a really big risk, but the reward has just been just beyond what we could have ever imagined. Hi, I'm Kelly.
I'm Ilana.
We are co-founders of FairyTail Pet Care, which is the nation's first wedding pet care company. That means that we help couples include their pet in their wedding day, take care of all the logistics, make sure that their pet is having the best day ever so they can, relax, enjoy their wedding day. And, their pet also gets to be there too.
We started FairyTail Pet Care when we were working at a hotel chain. We were at that age where all of our friends were getting married, our clients were getting married, and they were all having the same problem. You're getting married, everyone you normally trust with your pet is attending. And so who's going to watch your dog? You don't want to ask someone you didn't invite. And it just becomes this huge stress on an already very stressful day and the last thing you want to worry about. So we jumped at the opportunity. We both were the go-to pet sitters for all of our friends and family since we were kids. And we had that hospitality experience working in the industry. And so our skill set just perfectly fit that niche need. And next thing we knew, we were doing a wedding here, there. And about 2 years, we were full-time. Yeah, so we were doing this for, a couple years and started noticing as the first wedding pet care company in the nation, since we created this industry and coined the term, that it was something people needed all over. So we had couples paying us to travel all over the country. We are based out of Tampa, Florida, and we were going to California regularly, New Jersey, actually, just kind of all over. We had a wedding in Zion National Park where they eloped and had it. It was just literally us, their dog, and the couple. Like that was it. So we saw how important this service was and how it wasn't just this little bubble in Tampa. Like this was very much a service needed in the wedding industry across really the world. But more importantly, what we were seeing was nationally. And so we were traveling, people were paying these crazy travel fees. And then more companies kind of started popping up here and there, kind of validating that this is a real vendor in the wedding industry. And they were still choosing to pay us to travel to these new markets when maybe a new company that did wedding pet care was there. So we knew that our brand was special and that it meant something to people and that they were willing to pay top dollar for our services because they knew what it meant as the first wedding pet care company. Our mission also is to help rescue animals while also doing our job. We say it's, treating your pet like they're our own while helping rescues find their homes. So a big part of what we do, we have a lot of programs in place to help local shelters. And so we knew we wanted to spread our mission as far as we could and do as much good as possible while also providing the service to couples who desperately needed it in all these different cities. So we wanted to make sure we held up the FairyTail brand and really held them accountable for taking care of such, a family member for these couples. And so franchising was kind of the perfect way to really hold them accountable, be able to share our message, help more people, more dogs, and really, spread that FairyTail magic that we love so, so much all across the nation.
We did a lot of research before we were ready to franchise. We actually started looking into franchising as an option in 2017. One of our best friends from childhood works for a local firm here in Tampa. And so she gave us some of her advice. We were able to set up a meeting with one of her partners at her firm and just ask some questions, get a little bit more background about what it could look like to franchise. We read a number of books. We did a lot of, online research, looked into other companies that had franchised before ever really kind of taking the leap. And we were originally looking at a different franchise company. We knew that we wanted help, beyond just the legal aspects. We also wanted, some of the additional help. And we were about to take the leap with this other company that was, just significantly more expensive. And we didn't really vibe with the owners, but we didn't really see any other options out there. And then we did kind of just like a last ditch Google search and, just kind of scoured through the pages of Google, came across, I think it was originally just a blog post from Charles and the rest of the firm. And we really connected with their message. We watched YouTube video after YouTube video and just really, like I said, connected with their message. set up a call. And we realized from, the first few minutes on the call with Charles that this was going to be the perfect fit for us. And from there, the rest is history.
Yeah, so of course we had no idea what we were doing. We know all about wedding pet care, but nothing about franchising, regardless of all the books we read and research we did. We were stepping into something completely unknown. And from the second even before we signed on, but the second we signed on, we just found so much help and guidance. The consulting piece was just incredible. I mean, any question we had a full team that we could reach out to. The responsiveness also kind of blew me away. I know with our other legal couple things we've had to deal with in the past, I totally understand it takes a couple business days. I mean, you guys respond right away. So especially in the franchise world, there's lots of big questions that come up as we're growing that are kind of time sensitive that we need to handle with our franchisees that we currently have, or questions about our FDD. And the knowledge you guys have and the way that you were able to walk us through it has been incredible. Same thing with just setting it up from the beginning. I mean, the FDD is a giant document with lots of information. It's taken us a really long time to wrap our head around the whole thing. And you guys had so much patience with us and walked us through the entire thing multiple times. Whenever we had questions about certain pieces of it, you were able to really talk us through it in detail. I know we did lots of video calls together with different people from the team. So we have had, again, such a great experience and are so grateful for the consulting services that you guys offer along with the legal, because having both of those in one place is, truly incredible when you're franchising, since there's so many moving pieces.
We're looking for somebody, obviously, that loves animals, kind of a crazy animal person. You definitely have to be that to really be passionate about this job. We're looking for, someone who's hardworking, a self-starter, someone who's willing to get out there. It's still a very unique service. So in the new markets that we're opening up in, a lot of people still haven't heard of wedding pet care. So we need someone who's willing to get out there, really be a part of their community as well. We mentioned that a big part of our brand is our mission, which is to help rescue animals. And so we wanted to make sure that our franchisees aligned with that mission as well. We're willing to get out there and volunteer with their local shelters, really make an impact in their community.
Yeah, so getting started, it definitely is a lifestyle brand. I mean, you work from home. Of course, the weddings are physically on location, but otherwise it's very flexible. Some of our franchisees have started part-time, some have gone all in. It is going to be a slower start since it is the wedding industry, a lot of getting into your community, getting your name out there, really networking in your area. So it can absolutely be a part-time position as you're getting started. But then it's really as much as you make of it. So if you really work at it and are ready to start this business, it can absolutely be a full-time job. Or if you'd like it to partner with another Monday to Friday job, as long as you have that weekend availability, it can definitely go as a part-time job with your other position.
We've put a lot of work into our operations manual. So we created a lot of videos, video content for our franchisees. Obviously we're available to them through video calls, through text message, through emails, whatever they need there. But we also wanted to provide them with content to be able to work on their own. So we put a lot of work into that video content, tutorials, just us speaking about our brand as well to help them out with that, some sales calls and tips and tricks there. And then, like I said, we're also available to them, pretty much whenever they need to set up these video calls. You mentioned coaching, and that's kind of a big part of what we're doing for our franchisees. We recognize that they are new business owners. Obviously they're getting a leg up by starting with an already established brand and having, us behind them to help support them. But it is a new business venture for them. And that can be a really exciting time, but it also can be a really scary time. So we want to make sure that we're there for them, not just through how do I do this, or how do I respond to this email, or, these technical questions. We also want to make sure that we're there for them, emotionally, and be able to help them through these difficult challenges that can come up when you're just starting out on a new business.
I would say just making sure finding the right fit. So the right questions to ask, the right interview process to make sure that, we want you to be happy and you to make sure that this is the right fit for you, but we also want to make sure you're the right fit for our brand. So this is a relationship, like Kelly kind of touched on, we are there for you, or there for them every step of the way. And so we want to make sure that it is a good fit for the next 5-year term and hopefully beyond, because this is a relationship that we're going to have. Their success is our success. And we really want to make sure that we're learning how to best foster that relationship and set them up for success.
I think that the biggest difference between being a franchisor and being a business owner is when we were, just business owners, we were kind of on our own. Obviously, we're partners in this, so we do have each other, but the decisions that we were making, we just had to communicate between each other. And our history goes way back because we've been best friends since we were kids. And so sometimes we can, make decisions and come to conclusions without even having to use our words. So it was a really easy relationship to when it was just the two of us making decisions as a business owner. And then as we've transitioned into franchisors, we've had to learn how to communicate with our franchisees and bring them into the business and, be able to take their ideas and foster those ideas and bring them into the business in new and different ways, and be able to communicate our ideas to them and why we do things and our process to people that haven't known us since we were kids and can't read our minds. So that's been a really interesting but also very fun experience for us as we've transitioned.
I would say definitely make sure to research all of your options. So like Kelly mentioned earlier, we spent a lot of time, years, making this decision, just making sure that you understand all the different growth avenues out there, and that franchising is definitely, the fit that makes the most sense for you and your business. There's tons of great resources out there, lots of books you can read in your local community. The Small Business Association has tons of mentors that can talk you through some of the different options out there and make sure that you fully understand it. And then, of course, hiring an amazing company like you guys to make sure you're getting that consulting and legal assistance. Because if you don't have the background in it, I don't know how anybody could navigate it really getting going, no matter how much education and research you do. So make sure that whoever you do go with has the consulting piece as well. But again, we've had a wonderful experience with you guys.
We definitely want to open more franchise locations. We've got our eye on a few specific locations that we think would be fantastic for our services. So we definitely want to open up at, I'd say at least 10 to 15 more locations in the next 5 years. And then, of course, we want to make sure that we take our current franchisees and help them grow to their full potential.